I want to push you a little bit, Peter, and ask you to speculate on why it is that most people, when asked to describe or typify a person who's committed an act of violence, they will retort the person must be mentally ill. Is that because most people cannot fathom that a normal, again, I'm using the term normal rather liberally here in this podcast, but a person with a normal psychiatric disposition is incapable of carrying out an act of violence? Is that part of the problem?
I think that's part of the problem as well. But anything horrendous can't really be readily explained initially in the public eye. People will default to, well, they had to be crazy, or they had to be insane. Insanity being a legal term. Only 1%, less than 1% of individuals who come into conflict with the law meet the criteria for Section 16 under the Criminal Code. In other words, they're not criminally responsible by reason of insanity.
Correct.
So, and even individuals who do have diagnosed emotional disturbances, many of them are more at risk of harm to themselves than they are to other people. It does occur. I've testified in a number of trials. But a good example of a case I was heavily involved with many years ago was over 2 years of my life committed to working on it prior to the arrest and afterwards, was the Paul Bernardo Karla Homolka case. And people would insist that this guy had to be mentally ill. And of course, I couldn't talk. They would also say that Karla was the evil one.
I've heard that as well.
Because if people can't explain something, again, they're going to come up with some type of externalize the blame, and that blame is going to be, well, they had to be crazy. Another example of that would be, I remember, I don't talk to the media, but I had to, because when I found out what other people were saying when Anders Breivik,
the Norwegian, right? It was actually 9 years ago yesterday when he carried out his attack.
Exactly. I read that on your blog.
Oh, thank you.
And there's an excellent book that was written about it by a lay person, translated into English, called, I believe it was One of Us.
I have that. Yeah, I have that book.
And I thought it was a good sort of overview of the whole of that person. But colleagues of mine in the States and in Canada were saying, well, this guy's mentally ill. This is after the arrest. And I said, well, likely not, because of the planning and deliberation that went into it. And ultimately,
it was planned over months and months. And this guy didn't wake up one morning and decide to plant a bomb outside the Norwegian Parliament and then go to an island and slaughter almost 70 young people. He had put this into place meticulously over a long period of time.
Right. And in a recent article by a colleague of ours down in the States, Reed Malloy, he applied the TRAP 18, which we use in policing as a risk assessment tool, applied it retrospectively to Breivik, and certainly he fulfilled the criteria for some of the proximal and distal signs of the TRAP 18.